Super excited about this podcast. I've got the man himself, Chris Walker, on the walk. Walks on. How are you, mate?
Could be better. Anyway, we're getting there.
Mate, what day is it for those people out there listening?
Mate, we're sitting on day 33, so once I complete, as the cars go past, once I complete this walk, I'll be sitting at right on the halfway. I'll have 33 days left to go.
And you're looking for a physio around which area?
Yeah, I just got. I was lucky enough to talk to Guy Williams, and he's a part of the Capras down there. And I'm going in to see the physio at the Capras tomorrow, mate. So hopefully he's got a sledgehammer and a couple of nails to drive into my hamstrings.
Oh, mate, let's rip in.
Welcome to the Body Science Podcast. As always, the information contained in this podcast is for the information purposes only and is not designed to diagnose or be prescriptive to treat, prevent or manage any injury, disease or other health-related condition.
Welcome to Body Science HQ, the world of fit, happy and healthy. And today, Chris Walker is on a journey. Well, actually, you're not on a journey, mate. You're on a challenge, aren't you?
Yes, it's a challenge, and it's challenging me mentally and it's challenging me physically.
And how is it getting up obviously, how do you train for 66 days of 30K walking?
Oh, mate, there's not really much you can do. I mean, I did have a bit of a build-up, probably 5 to 6 weeks out from when I commenced the challenge on the 26th of April, where I would do anywhere. I started off. I virtually made it like a pre-season football thing. I sort of built up to the 26th, where I was, 5 to 6 weeks out. I was doing anywhere between 5 to 10 kilometres a day of walking, and then I pumped it up to about 20 to 25 the week before I left, because I didn't want to go in there and do 30 Ks for about a week or 2 weeks out when I started, because I knew that the first week was going to be a bit of a grind, but which was. But luckily I had Nate Miles with me for the first 12 days, so he kept me entertained. But as you go along, you sort of become a lot fitter. Your body becomes a lot more aware of what you're doing, and if you don't listen to your mind too much and you let your body keep on going, well then you get to your 30 Ks, which is the minimum I've got to do every day, and I'm doing it I'm currently at number 33. I've got 33 days to go, so 66 days in total, and it's nice to be able to see this countryside of what I'm seeing and get to see Queensland like not many people get to see it, and that's at 6 or 7 kilometres an hour.
That's amazing, mate. It's amazing. And for those people out there that are living in a bubble, mate, you just want to tell everybody what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve for others?
Yeah, mate. There's a lot of things going on in the world at the moment, especially with this pandemic. And the driving force behind it was, obviously people struggling. And there's 4 beneficiaries from the walk, which are Beyond Blue, which do amazing work. They've seen an increase over the last 14 months during this pandemic of, I think, 42% increase of their cause and helping people with mental health. And
wow.
Especially with the, it's crazy, especially with the, we look at Melbourne right now. They're going into a 7-day lockdown, and I've got friends in Melbourne and very fit and healthy current AFL players. But the AFL players are on a different boat because they got to go out and train. But some guys had to stay in their house and couldn't go past 3 or 4 Ks past their house, so and didn't have a lot of time for exercise. So their mental health is deteriorating, and to be out here and see the sunshine and see the state that I'm doing, and on top of that, you've got a lot of domestic violence that has increased over the last 14 months, mate. So I got to spend a day with a charity called RizeUp. They do amazing work within domestic violence and resettling families who have been devastated by domestic violence. And unfortunately, before I left, we saw another lady killed due to domestic violence. So, and then on top of that, we've got the Alcohol and Drug Foundation, who's seen a 400% increase in alcohol sales over the last 14 to 15 months. So I'm struggling a little bit physically, but when you draw on inspiring people that are going through tough times at the moment with 14 months of the pandemic, mate, pounding the pavement doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, you're a legend, mate. Truly, truly a legend. So let's talk about each day. So 30 Ks, how long is that taking you each day?
Oh, mate, I've been stupid enough. I've been running some too. So we talk about, I know, I ran through Bowen in my budgie smugglers, and I don't know if the locals were calling the cops and thought there was a streaker, but I just had to get out and run at one stage. I ran about 20 Ks non-stop, which I've probably never done in my life, but I'm currently doing 30 kilometres per day. And there's a non-negotiable on it. You've got to do it, and if you don't do it, which I didn't do 2 days coming through Mackay because I had media commitments and whatnot to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I had the media commitments about 10 days out. So I was pumping out about 31 to 32 Ks now. And when you say, oh, you're only doing 2 more Ks after 30 Ks, but when you think you're doing 30 Ks and you get to 28 Ks and in your head you go, oh, I've only got 2 Ks to go, and then you think to yourself, oh no, I'm going 32. You've got 4 Ks. It's an extra 45 minutes on your walk. So but at the end of the day, mate, you just get it done. You bite down your mouth guard, you get it done. You complete the 30 days, and when you do finish the 30 days, I get to enjoy probably the best part of the day, and that's a body science lean muscle shake, which, mate, I honestly, and I'm not saying it because I'm talking to you, but mate, I put it in my car up the front in the esky, and by the time I finish, it's ice cold and sometimes a little bit ice creamy.
Yeah.
And it's the best reward you can have after walking 30 Ks or 32 Ks or 35 Ks, in the sun and dodging cars and dodging trucks on the way through, mate. So that's my little reward after every day.
Mate, I love that. And for those people that don't know, that noise you hear all the time in this podcast is cars trying to see how close they can get to Chris. Mate, actually,
sorry, go.
I caught up with Nate the other day at the footy. He was telling me about a truck that decided to come really close to you guys.
Oh, mate, since Nate's gone, there's been about 30 trucks that have come. It's like they must have a contest to see who can take as much hair off my right shoulder or my right arm as best they can. But they do come past. But I will say this: if there are any truckies out there listening to this podcast, which I know there will be, Greg, they're amazing, mate. The support that I've got from the truckies, everyone beeps, everyone gives you a honk or gives you a wave that comes out of the truck. So I really do appreciate that.
Mate, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I've been watching your Insta, which is like a TV series at the moment, and I'm loving it. But it's just so good to see people just coming up and want to be part of your journey.
It's crazy. It is the craziest experience I've ever been on, mate. It is. I know there are people out there that are hurting, and I've had 1,000 stories of people coming and telling me about friends of theirs or even them directly have been suffering through this whole pandemic. And North Queensland people are the easiest to get along with, I think. Well, Queensland people are. Most people are. But a lot of the stories that come out. We were going through a little place called Larish. A guy, Aaron Walt, they call him Shrek, had a sign out the front of his place, walkers on. And hey, this is the generosity of people up there. He rang me. He got a hold of me through social media. He told me he was inspired to do something. He weighs 135 kilos. He invited us into his house with his family for a dinner, which we took up because you don't waste those opportunities. And then 2 days later, he gets his runners on and he walks 26 Ks with us. 2 days later, mate. So
wow,
those stories of being inspired and me inspiring people, but then also too the generosity and the inspiration that I get from those people on the backhand of it, mate. It's your heart and your soul, as corny as it sounds, mate, is full to the brim.
And do you think you're spending a lot of time with yourself on the road, obviously, and with there's a lot of people involved in your walk, but you've got a lot of time to yourself. Do you think it's changing you as a human, this journey? Is it something that will forever dictate the new you?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I mean, I'm not perfect, and no one is, but I did make a mistake once. No, but all jokes aside, mate, it's the people that have touched me or that have touched my emotions, and I hope time will tell. I hope that I become a better human. I know that I'm not perfect. There have been some things in my life that I would love to have changed, but this has certainly put me into a whole different frame of mind. Just being away from my family, away from my kids, just puts a whole different spin on the walk or on the challenge. So. Yeah, mate. I think to date, definitely. I think, Greg, it's changed me. It's changed me a lot, mate. It really has. To see. I was talking to JT about it. He rang me after the Cowboys Broncos game when we walked around and did a lap around there with Big Charlie Webb. He rang me a couple of days later and he said, "How are you feeling, mate?" I said, "Well, mate, how do you reckon I'm feeling? I don't watch the news, so I don't see the doom and gloom that is forced down our throats by the media companies and all I see now is the goodness and the best out of people. So of course I'm in a great frame of mind. But in saying that, I hope he calls me back because the last 7 days has been an absolute struggle for me. But like I said, it's nothing compared to what people are going through, mate.
That's an amazing mindset, mate. Amazing. So, mate, can we touch on Fund My Challenge? Like this, it's obviously this walk is the big thing you're doing in your life as part of your challenge, but you saw the need for something before that. Like obviously the Fund My Challenge app and concept didn't just happen overnight. So you've been thinking about others for quite a while now.
Yeah, mate, it all came about January last year when all the fires, ravaged Australia, and it was world news, and there was 10,000 people out of that lost homes. We saw what Celeste Barber did by raising $53 million.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, that's a great thing. That's unbelievable, mate. But unfortunately, when Celeste, put her campaign forward, it went to the New South Wales Royal Fire Brigade. In their constitution, they obviously can't rebuild communities. They've got to spend their money that comes in through donations on new equipment, training, new fire trucks.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually go to where Celeste wanted it to go. So we just saw a little bit of a thing in the market that I didn't like, because she was doing it for all those families, and those families can't get anything about those trucks, but they can get out there. There's another bushfire. There's going to be better equipment.
Absolutely.
Putting those fires out. Yeah. That's great. That's awesome. That's but like when I donated my $100, I thought it was going to buying a new vanity for a kitchen for someone who lost their house.
Yeah.
So with obviously the Fund My Challenge, if you start a challenge or you start a fundraising entertainment campaign, well, you can then have the ability to know that the money is going to a charity that you want it to go to, and it spends more than 60% on the cause.
Yeah.
So on Fund My Challenge, all charities are vetted. If they don't spend more than 60%, well then we'd like to think that we can get them past that 60% by helping them, or continue on with their cause and getting it going. And that's why with the organisations I've chosen for my walk, they excel in that sort of percentage. So they can. We just give the donors, when they do put over their $100, they know that more than $60 is actually going to the cause. Not like some of these other organisations, and I don't want to name names, but when you donate your $100, you know that probably 5 cents actually goes to the cause, and everything gets lost in and everything else. So, but mate, that's if we can continue to change lives, mate, that's the main thing. That's at the end of the day, we're here to help those guys or help those charities or foundations, with their cause and spend the money when donors donate their money, that actually goes to where they think it's going instead of somewhere else.
Yeah, nice. And mate, quite a few of your mates in sport and entertainment have jumped on board to work with you in this space as well, haven't they?
Yeah, mate. There was the response. When we do call them and we say, righto, guys, do you want to come on and help a cause or help a charity that's close to your heart? Well, I don't think there's anyone that said no. There's probably one or two that have and ahed, but once they've found out how it all works, well, then they jump on board. Lincoln Lewis is the face of it. Not a bad face to have as a face.
Yeah, he goes the old Link. Yep.
And also too, mate, I've got to take my hat off to him, mate. There's some things in his private life that's going, that's staying private, but mate, he always remains positive, and he's a beautiful soul. He's got an absolute view on life that, if you get around him, is infectious. So it's a credit to him. So Joel Parkinson's another one. So there's all these celebrities that are coming up. There's a long list of them, and you can download the app to have a look to see who have got challenges on there at the moment that are going through process of raising money for charities. But mate, it's a really cool little platform that we've got going, and obviously we've got Body Science on board, and having you guys on board, is extra special as well, mate. So we really appreciate it.
Oh, mate, we love it. So, mate, what's the ethos of Fund My Challenge? So if I've got a challenge or I've got something I want to do, I reach out to the app, and the app talks me through how to set up. Is that what it does? Yeah,
there's you go through Lincoln Lewis, like I said, being the face of it, he explains it very well. It's very, very simple. It's a work in progress. We're working through it at the moment. It's live. It got down to about the top 50 downloaded apps globally, which we're very proud of in 22 different countries. And
amazing.
It's very, very simple. You set up. Thank you very much, mate. You set it up. You set up your profile, and then you find a target that you want to get to. It might be $10,000. It might be for the Crumlin Wildlife Sanctuary, and then you just do a challenge, and then you put it up, and then it becomes like a social media entertainment platform, and people come on board and donate, and away they go.
Awesome. That's probably a good thing for a lot of people in the fitness industry listening out there to know, because gyms are really good at doing small level challenges to raise money for charities, etc. So for anyone out there that's looking, it's fundmychallenge.com is the website to have a look at, and the app is Fund My Challenge. You just download that and it's pretty simple from there, you say, mate?
Yeah, on the App Store and also to the Android store. So, or Android, yeah, mate. We just want to create that living. And when you say challenge, when you say Fund My Challenge, people think, oh, well, do you need to do what I'm doing and walking from Cairns to Gold Coast? No, it's not like that.
That'd be a small-lived app, that one, mate.
Yeah. A challenge can be, you might know a young kid who's going through, have a look at this bloke. He's on his bike. Hey, mate, where you riding to?
Classic.
Where you riding to? He goes, Cairns, and then I'll just see. I've seen a couple of those guys on the bikes heading north. But yeah, a couple of guys riding around Australia. But those sort of inspirational things like that, mate. You see them all the time, Greg. You see them all the time. So the people out there that want to do good in the world, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great, mate. That's great. Hey team, just a second off this podcast. It's Greg from Body Science here. The Hydroxyburn Shred is back on shelf. It's our new therapeutic, has all the taste. And if you're looking for a better thermogenic, we've really pushed for the pursuit of a better thermogenic. Full disclosure on the labelling. What do we mean? Caffeine levels have changed. We all know the rules have changed. The ingredients have changed. The claims have changed. We have a clean label with premium quality ingredients for you. So what does that mean for you? You can look at things like metabolism and energy, sugar metabolism, fat metabolism, cognitive function, thyroid, and just general health and well-being, and it's all on the label. If you're taking a fat burner now and it doesn't say it on the label, have a look at it and go, why? Get on board. So, mate, what's next for you after this? Like, you're going to come home and obviously lie down for a while, but what's after that?
I'm going to turn my phone off and disappear for a month. Yeah, no, I've been thinking, and I know that I shouldn't think it out loud, and I shouldn't say it, because if I say it out loud, I'm going to have to do it. But I'm actually thinking of walking to Melbourne. I don't know. Nate and I were talking about it, actually. Tell you what, Nate Myers, love you. You're a champion. Thank you very much for doing the first 12 days. But
he's a good human.
Talking to him, and he's a very, very good human. And talking to him for the first 12 days, this question came up a couple of times. And at the time, I was like, I could probably walk to Melbourne, because what else is there to do? So I mightn't be home for about four or 5 months, which there goes another big B double whizzing past my ear, but which might be good, because I think Courtney will love it, my wife. So when I told her I was going on this walk for six days, she was doing backflips out in the backyard.
Oh, that's gold.
No, I don't know, mate. To be seriously honest with you, Greg, I don't know. And I have enjoyed this journey so much that when I do get home, I probably will hit a little bit of a lull. But to be able to complete it, I think this will keep me on a high for a while, mate. But there's plenty of challenges in my head that I'm going through at the moment, including a jet ski ride from the Gold Coast to Cairns. So I'll see what happens.
Wow, that's a new one. That's a big one too.
That is a big one.
So, mate, let's just step back to walking the road. And a lot of us don't get to spend 30 Ks by ourselves walking along the side of a road with, and if people can't see this who are just listening, it's trees and road. There's nothing else there. What's going through your head?
Oh, mate, a lot of things. A hell of a lot of things. Obviously there's a lot of discussions in my head about the football and how football's going, and about my life personally and what I can do to improve and be a better husband and better father. And there's certainly things that are going through my head. I'll jump on the phone, I'll call mates, and I'll be on the phone to them for half an hour during the walk, or 20 minutes, or might even be an hour. There are a lot of things that sort of go through your head. Generally, I'm just enjoying the peace and quiet, and to be quite honest with you, enjoying the fresh air. The fresh air up here is crazy, because there's not much, even though I am walking along the roads and there are cars going past, but it's not all the time. And when you're on these little long stretches of road along the Marlborough stretch especially, there's times there where you just, you look up and you look around and you see the mountains, and you see not that we're going through the mountain ranges now, but you just appreciate life a lot more. Like, without getting too deep and heavy, you do appreciate life a lot more. You appreciate what you got at home. You appreciate what we've got in our own backyard living in Queensland. So there are a lot of things that go through my mind, but I'm certainly not solving the world's problems anymore. You know why? Because I'm not watching the news.
Yeah, big call that. That's a fair call.
Yeah, it's very cool.
That's a fair. And mate, how's the rugby league community been along the way? Have you pretty much met every player in North Queensland yet?
Mate, I tell you, I've got to give a shout out to Jakey Clifford too. He's the player. I was walking between in the Ingham, and he was coming home, and he pulled over and he donated $500, and he's a great kid, Jakey. So I wish him all the best. And he's a lovely young man. He's a good football player. He's a very good football player. And yeah, it was just the rugby league community has been amazing. They've been awesome. Yeah, the Queensland Rugby League have come on as a major supporter of my walk, and to have those guys on, also yourself, High Price, they come on to help with my recovery, the Usher group, even the guys who are giving us the forwards. But the Queensland Rugby League, mate, they've been really good. They've allowed me to spread my wings and think about things. And at the moment, mate, we're hoping to get the approval from the NRL to walk into.
Shit, that was close.
And he's only doing about $1.20. But they've given us. They look like they're going to give us the approval, which I'm really excited about, because I spoke to Talisha Harden the other day to walk into the women's state of origin on the 25th of June at Sunshine Coast Stadium, mate. So
awesome.
If we're allowed to do that, that'd be awesome, because you know what, I'm walking into state of origin too for the males. So to be able to do that for the women, that's and we'll do that for obviously Rise Up will be front and centre. So, mate, to be able to walk in for the girls on the 25th of June at Sunshine Coast Stadium, mate, if they give us the tick of approval for that, that will be amazing.
That's unreal. That's so good to hear. The women's rugby league's going really well too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, mate. It is. It really is. I love the fact that, and I'm sure you do too, mate, I love the fact that women now are starting to get the recognition as they should in sport. The pay grade is still a fair whack between the males and the females, which I think is unfair, because I've never been involved in a women's team where they don't train as hard or have as much dedication as the males. So why not pay them the same? And I think that it's wrong that they don't. But I'm loving. Shane, my brother, is married Katie Buchanan, now Katie Walker. And mate, when she was playing for the Firebirds when we were back in the Bronx, and I think she signed for about $500 for $2,000. Now I know for a fact that Katie Walker, my sister-in-law, she trains as hard as the males. So why not pay her as much as what the males get? They put their bodies on the line in both sports. They're as athletic as they come in all sports. So I think it's time that the corporates and everything put their money up and help the women out as best they can, because mate, they do as much as what we do. So I'd love to see an Ali Brigginshaw or a Millie Boyle or a Loz Brown be on $1 million. How cool would that be?
Yeah,
like the boys are. That'd be unreal.
Amazing, mate. It's good to see sports like surfing. I mean, surfing's gone down that path,
yep.
And look at it's just grown stronger. So,
mate, that's it.
It's good.
So yeah, it's I'd be really pumped if we get the opportunity to walk into the girls.
Yeah, nice, mate. Speaking of footy, since you started it, how's the new rules going for you?
Mate, I love them. I think they're good. I think that we have a duty of care to look after players' heads. We've got, you and I got a mutual friend and one of my very close mates, Big Crocker. He played the game as hard as anyone. Well, keep on going, boys. Keep on going. Yeah, keep on going. I'm feeling good. Sorry. The boys want to stop at 31 Ks now, but 31 Ks, but I'm going. I'm going to keep on going. I think like Mick Crocker.
Yeah.
They have a duty of care. I know that there's some of the things there that can be an accident, and it's not with malice. So over time, I think that the NRL will sort of be a little bit more lenient on the send-offs, but also too saying that, hang on, mate, I just got to run this bridge. But also too, they have the I don't want to see players being struck in the head. I certainly don't want my son, when he gets that age, or even in the juniors, to be struck in the head like they are. I love the 6 again rule. I just think that has really put a spinner in the works with the wrestle, and it stopped the wrestle, and it stopped those injuries that you get from the heavy wrestle.
Yep.
That we've seen in past years. And just the expansive way that these young kids are playing footy at the moment it's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, it's good to watch.
Very good to watch, mate.
How's that sciatica feeling right now?
Oh, mate, it's killing me. But I'm not going to complain. At every step, feels like there's little leprechauns behind me stabbing me with a knife.
Is this a long bridge or a short bridge?
Oh, got about 5 metres to go, mate. Not like the like the Vertigan that went for a K and a half.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it was. I had 28 Ks to go. Oh no, so I had 2 kilometres to go, and out of that 2 kilometres, I had a K and a half bridge to run. So, but I love it, mate. It just changes everything up, and no one can ever say that they've ran every bridge from Cairns to Gold Coast.
No, I think that could even be some type of record that should be noted.
Yeah, well, there we go, mate.
Speaking of running, how's the feet?
I'm on my 4th pair of shoes at the
Wow.
moment. So thanks to Rebel Sport, another person who's jumped on to help. But yeah,
That's awesome.
4th pair. They sort of go through quick, hey? I didn't realise how quick you can go through a pair of shoes. But
Yeah, I do
saying that,
30
I've done
Ks a
about
day.
900 Ks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So after each day, what's the plan? You try and get a beer with someone? You in an ice bath? What are you doing? Sleeping?
Yeah, so what I do, like I say, I have a shake as my reward. I'll stop after every day, especially after the last 7 days where I'm starting to notice these little niggling injuries that I've got. So I'll stop my walk. I'll stretch for about 10 minutes before I get in the car and go back to camp, because sometimes I have to drive back 90 Ks back to camp because that's where we situate. So what we do is we set up camp at a town. And then what we do is we walk 30 Ks, get to a landmark, and then we jump back in the cars, go back to camp. We do recovery. The recovery sums of is a summary of finding a dirtiest willy bin in the town, cleaning it out, filling it full of ice, filling it half or 3/4 with ice, then with water. And then I'll do ice baths for probably half an hour. So I'm sitting in the ice bath sometimes for 10 minutes. And I'll get out and I'll do that 3 or 4 times. And then I've got the team at Hyper-Ice that have kindly donated the Normatec legs, the Hyper Volt and the Hyper Venom and the Hyper Roller. And I think without those, I'd probably be still sitting back in Townsville trying to get myself ready to go again, and that's just my routine afterwards. And then, I know we are on board for the Alcohol and Drug Foundation, but I know they don't mind if I have a beer or 2 after each day with my team, and I do it with all my team. I do it with, I've got Nate Miles as dad. He's driving the front car. I've got Big Will sitting in the back. He drives the back car. He's the one radioing all the big rigs to let them know that we're on the road to keep us safe.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then, mate, it just falls into, I try and have it like a rugby league camp. I've been on plenty of those, just making sure that everyone's together. If there's a person in our group that needs, we do spend a lot of time together. So, there's going to be the times where there's the little disagreements or there's something brewing. And as a captain, I call myself the captain. And as a captain, I've got to, I've sort of just got to separate the person. There's been no arguments or fights, but you can just tell when that little, you're being in each other's pocket all the time. So you might have, listen, have a bit of time to yourself, or if you need to, go for a drive in the car and sit on the beach if we're near a beach, or just sit back and read a book or something. So, because we do live in each other's pockets the whole time. It's crazy, and we're like the little rugby league team. Everyone's got their little roles and responsibilities. After each day, Will goes in there and make sure all the water bottles are refilled for the next day. Milo just make sure the cars are all sweet and everything's ready to go for the next day. I'll do my ice bars, and then Rolly will jump in and do the administration stuff. So we've become a little tight-knit family.
Yeah, that's so good to hear, mate. Before we finish up, Chris, was there a playbook here, or was there something that you could look at to give you any idea how to plan for this?
Hey, put your mouth guard in, bite down, and just keep on walking. That's probably the best playbook. I mean, you can't really, unless you want to train yourself to get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and you probably need to do that for about 2 years if you're not that disciplined. So, one of the hardest things is knowing that the alarm clock's going off, knowing that you've got enough rest, knowing that you've given your body enough time to recover. And that's for the first week. That was sort of, Nate and I sort of did that on the run, and we tweaked it a little bit because none of the people that in my group have ever done something like this. So it's all about trial and error for the first week and finding the best solution to get the job done. Yeah,
nice. Well, mate, look, I just want to say congratulations on what you're doing, and the fact that you're doing something for other people just changed you forever. And that's, I'm really, not that you need me to be proud of you, but everyone around me is super proud of what you're doing. All I ever hear is just full gratitude for what you're doing for others. And I just want to say thank you. And
Thank you very much, and thank you very much to your team as well, mate. It's amazing. It really is.
I appreciate it. And mate, the Fund My Challenge app is one of the greatest ideas I've heard of. I think it's when you came and showed me that, I just went, wow, here's a great idea, because it's time for Body Science to get some challenges going on the platform too. So look out for that soon.
Let it go. And when are you boys joining me?
Yeah, well, Pico's doing a really good job at making sure it's getting difficult. He's just found out that his hips are gone. He won't like me saying that. But, you know, when you get back surgery, then you find out what was really next.
Yes.
Everyone who has back surgery has a second issue, and his hips are gone. So he's trying to get some needles next week, and we're going to try and get up after that and see if we can put them back into place, because I'm sure 30Ks are walking with you will get those hips back going.
Not everyone does 30Ks. There's been one or two guys that have done the full 30Ks with me. Mate, like I said, if you want to do 5 or 10Ks and away you go, mate, I'm just fully grateful for you guys even to think about coming out.
I think you nailed it on the head when you said if you come up, you got to bite down that mouth guard. If we're there for 30Ks, I've never worked 30Ks in my life. I've never run it. I've not even get on the pushy that much. I live close to the beach, and that's my pushy ride. So it'll test me, but who gives a fuck about that? It's about what you're doing and being there for a mate who's throwing out for others. So hopefully we'll get up there in the next week or two, but I want to go. I want to come up together. I really do want him to come up with me, and he's itching to get up there.
Well,
so
you know that you guys are more than welcome, and it would be an honour to have you up here. I'd love it.
No, I appreciate that. Appreciate it. So if people want to challenge, where do they go, mate?
Hey, go to the App Store or Android, download Fund My Challenge, jump on, create an app, create a profile, and then start challenging yourself, challenging people, encouraging people to come and donate. We'll hopefully get a couple of the celebrities already on there to share what you're doing to help promote your challenge and what you want to do. And let's change the world.
Nice.
Be a world changer.
And if people want to donate to you, how do they do that?
Yeah, they also can go to the app.
Yep.
They also go to www.fundmychallenge.com and follow the links to my walk. I think there's roughly about 80,000 at the moment as we stand. So my target is $1 million. I want to get to $1 million by the time I get back to the Gold Coast on the 30th. I know that I can do it. I know that I can do it with some good support with everyone willing to jump on board. So I'd really appreciate it. That's
awesome, mate. I actually used the app the other day. I did the beach walk for the koala hospital.
Oh, yep. Yeah, beautiful.
I actually didn't know it was on your platform until we actually went and did what we were doing. So, yeah, congratulations, everything. Great work, mate. Keep it up. I'll hopefully see you in a week or two.
Cheers, Gregory. Thank you very much.
Big shout out to your team too, mate, that's there with you. Congratulations. Amazing.
Thank you, mate. I love it. I love it again.
Okay. Any messages for anyone before we go?
I'd just like to say good day to my beautiful wife and my 3 beautiful kids. I miss you, and I'll hopefully see you soon.
Nice. Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Body Science.